Most men believe strength is measured by how loud they are, how aggressively they react, or how quickly they defend themselves. But the Stoics knew a deeper truth: the strongest man in any room is the one who can feel emotion fully, without letting it dictate his behavior. Emotional restraint is not emotional suppression. It's emotional command. It's the ability to experience a surge of anger, fear, rejection, confusion, disappointment, or ego, and stay in control. Not because you're numb, but because you're disciplined. The world tries to provoke you every day. People test your patience. Situations trigger your anxiety. Challenges pressure your ego. Life throws conflict your way just to see if you can be pulled out of character. Most men fail these tests because they react immediately. They let emotion drive before reason even buckles in. They raise their voice, rush into decisions, say things they regret, or collapse into fear. And every one of those moments hands their power away. The Stoics saw emotional restraint as one of the highest forms of strength because it proves mastery over the only battlefield that truly matters, the internal one. Anyone can react. Anyone can explode. Anyone can crumble under pressure. But restraint requires something rare: inner authority. Emotional restraint is strength because it protects your clarity. When your emotions take over, your perspective collapses. Everything feels urgent. Everything feels personal. Everything feels threatening. Even things that don't deserve your energy suddenly dominate your mind. A man who cannot restrain his emotions becomes a hostage to every external influence: moods, comments, arguments, temptations, insults, mistakes. A man who can restrain his emotions becomes ungovernable. You can't manipulate him. You can't intimidate him. You can't destabilize him. You can't lure him with ego or frighten him with fear. His calm becomes his shield. The Stoics believe that emotional restraint increases your strength because it increases your response time. When you pause before responding, even for a few breaths, everything inside you reorders itself. Your mind steps forward. Your emotion steps back. Your judgment becomes sharper. Your presence becomes stronger. That pause is where power is born. Emotional restraint also protects your dignity. People lose respect for men who cannot govern themselves. A man who constantly reacts out of anger becomes predictable. A man who panics becomes unreliable. A man who lashes out becomes fragile. A man who breaks down at every obstacle becomes someone others avoid. Restraint creates a different reaction. People listen more when you speak. People test you less. People sense stability around you. People treat you with more respect because you're not ruled by impulse. Your silence becomes intimidating. Your composure becomes authority. Your calm becomes influence. Emotional restraint is strength because it prevents people from using your emotions against you. Some will criticize you just to see if you react. Some will provoke you just to watch you lose control. Some will insult you to gauge your stability. Some will lie to observe your insecurity. When you restrain your emotional reaction, you expose their intentions, not yours. A man who responds calmly in a moment designed to make him lose control becomes a man others quietly fear. The Stoics were feared not because they were aggressive, but because they were unshakable. Nothing could drag them out of themselves. Their emotions obeyed their mind, not the world. Another reason emotional restraint is a hidden strength is because it preserves your energy. Most of your energy isn't lost through work, it's lost through unnecessary reactions. Arguments that don't matter. Doubts that don't help. Fantasies that never happen. Overthinking that drains your focus. Emotional storms that have no purpose. A restrained man doesn't give the world unlimited access to his emotional system. He protects his peace like a treasure. He picks his battles. He chooses what deserves his reaction. He shields his mind from meaningless chaos. Restraint builds longevity, in discipline, in relationships, in decision-making, in leadership. Men who react emotionally burn out. Men who restrain emotions endure. The Stoics practiced restraint not because they feared emotion, but because they respected its power. They understood that emotion without control destroys, while emotion with control transforms. A restrained man isn't cold, he's prepared. He's not distant, he's intentional. He's not numb, he's precise. He knows that strength is not what you show others, it's what you reveal to yourself when no one is watching. Emotional restraint is strength because it sharpens your masculinity. It makes your presence heavier, your decisions cleaner, your leadership clearer, your boundaries stronger. People trust men who can feel but still think. People follow men who can experience pressure without collapsing. People respect men who carry storms inside them without unleashing them irresponsibly. A man with emotional restraint becomes a rock in a world full of waves. The Stoics believe that a man's greatest victories are won in silence, in the moment he chooses restraint over eruption, composure over chaos, principle over impulse. And here's the final truth: emotional restraint doesn't make you less of a man. It makes you more. Because the man who can master his emotions becomes the man who can master his life. Not by suppressing emotion, but by commanding it. By staying centered when provoked. By staying calm when challenged. By staying grounded when tested. By staying intentional when pressured. The world becomes quieter when your mind becomes stronger. And nothing strengthens the mind like the discipline of emotional restraint. That is the untold strength most men never discover, but the Stoics lived by it.